Hi. Hi, everyone. How are you today? Good to see you. So, my name is Casey. If we haven't met before, welcome. Thanks. So, today I was hoping to take you through a practice specifically designed to calm and soothe our nervous systems. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stimulus. Your nervous system can get frazzled from a variety of things. There's environmental things, all of our electronics and devices throw us off frequencies frequently. Then there's the stimulus of the world happenings and events and news. So it's quite an intense time. So this practice, I'm going to take you through a series of restorative and very soothing poses for your nervous system. Lots of time when we're anxious and our nervous systems are afraid, it's very depleting because it puts us in that fight or flight response perpetually. So at the same time we're feeling, frazzled, scrambly, all the things that come with nervous system depletion, we can also feel a bit down too. We can't heal as readily because all of our energy is going toward, keeping us in that fight or flight. So it's when we really calm and relax our nervous system, it promotes healing and health across all of our other systems. We can optimize all of them by achieving a state of calm. So we'll do a mixture today of restorative poses and some uplifting poses and tips too. So welcome. Go ahead and roll out your mat if you haven't gotten there already. And we're just going to begin in child's pose. So go ahead and sink back into your first child's pose of the day, taking your knees nice and wide on the mat, just gently easing into your hips, placing the backs of your feet on the floor, and then lastly bringing your forehead all the way down till it touches your mat. And here we'll just begin with some deep breaths, following your breath all the way from the base of your spine all the way up through the top of your head. Just breathing deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And go ahead and take 2 more breaths. Just letting yourself arrive. If you've already had a busy day, just giving yourself a moment to transition onto your mat. And when you're ready, go ahead and gently come back up. And we'll go ahead and sit in hero's pose. So if you have a block, you can put it underneath your sits bones, or you can just sit back if it's comfortable for you. Sit back on the heels of your feet, like that. Beautiful. And then just go ahead and get centered. And we'll begin with some, we call it box breath or 4-part breath. So get your body nice and centered, grounded. Feel your sits bones on your heels or the block. If you feel comfortable to do so, you can let your eyes gently flutter close. And box breath is beautiful. It's something you can do anytime, anywhere. It's deeply calming to your nervous system. And it's 4-part breath. 4 count inhale. Hold your breath for 4 counts. 4 count exhale. And hold that for 4 counts. So 4, 4, 4, 4. And we'll do a few rounds. Just letting your hands, your palms face up loosely on your thighs. And then go ahead and begin with the breath, counting 4, inhaling. And holding it for 4. Exhaling for 4. And holding empty for 4 counts. And once more, breathing in to the count of 4. Holding for 4. And exhaling for 4. And holding empty for 4. And do one more round silently on your own. 4, 4, 4, 4. So if your eyes are closed, just let them flutter open. And then I'd love to show you something called thymus tapping. So your thymus is a gland that's located just above your lungs, behind your sternum or your breastbone. And this is a point, we call it the happiness point. So your thymus is the gland that produces the cells that become our T cells. So it's the source of immunity in the body, of energy, vibrant health, and stimulating this point, just taking the tips of your finger. And again, this is something easy you can do anytime you're feeling overwhelmed, depleted, anxious, sad. T-tapping or thymus tapping is a beautiful practice. So just gently yet firmly tapping all around that sternum. Beautiful. And then you can remove your block, come down on your hips fully. We'll just begin with some side stretches. So moving left to right. So when you're doing a more restorative practice, Sundays are a great day. Right before bed, if you've been having trouble sleeping. Doing a yin kind of inspired restorative session is really wonderful for your body and your nervous system. A good rule of thumb when you're doing restorative sessions are to hold each and every pose for about 3 to 4 minutes. And if you don't want to have a timer near you, you can just have music playing. And a good rule of thumb is, hold a pose for each song. And so when a song is ending, you just move into the next pose. Beautiful. So then from here, let's move back into child's pose again. Again, take a nice deep stance. Let's get the hips nice and open. And again, just letting the spine go long, creating space in between each and every vertebrae. I'm coming down to the mat. Just go ahead and sink with each breath more deeply into the pose. Just letting the earth hold you, ground you. Just releasing any energy, any stress, any tension. Just let that release. And then on the next inhale, go ahead and walk yourself over to one side, placing one hand on top of the other. Just pull down, more fully opening up the rib cage, stretching out the side body. And breathing in. And again, just with each deep exhale, exhaling any stress, any tension. And on the next inhale, kind of walk over to the opposite side. And gently relaxing over, stretching out your opposite side body, breathing into your ribs, into all the space between your ribs. And on the next inhale, go ahead and walk back up to all fours and come up. And we'll just move into some cat-cow. So go ahead and take your time putting your feet flat on the floor, your palms rooted into the earth. And then go ahead and with your breath, just moving. On the inhale. And exhale. Just creating space. And on the next inhale, go ahead and recenter. And then we're going to take thread the needle. So go ahead and reach one palm to the earth and the other palm to the sky. Stretch open, and then we'll thread the needle going underneath the arm and opening, creating a nice gentle twist for your torso, an opening for your shoulder. Breathing into any tight spots. And on the next inhale, go ahead and sweep, rotate your arm back up to the sky. Then go ahead and switch sides. So firmly planting one palm into the earth and stretching the other. Breathing deeply in and out. And then thread the needle, winding under. Breathing in and breathing out. And in the next inhale, go ahead and sweeping that arm back up and bringing it down to meet the other palm. And we'll push back up into our first downward facing dog. So you might want to walk out your feet. And if your hamstrings are very tight, you can keep your knees bent. And then we'll begin just doing some spinal rolls. So go ahead and walk your feet in. And from a forward fold, knees bent position, just go ahead and gently roll your spine up. And then rolling it back down. And up. And rolling back down. One of the most uplifting poses is Uttanasana, forward fold, as well as shoulder stand, bridge, and waterfall, also called legs up the wall. So essentially any pose where you have your head close to the earth and your feet over you, or you're hanging upside down as a good rule of thumb too. All of those poses. So let's go ahead and hang for a moment in forward facing fold. If you like, you can clasp your elbows. Again, keeping your knees bent if you're very tight today. Letting your head go heavy and loose. Beautiful. And then rolling up. And we'll come into mountain pose. So go ahead and feel your feet, the base of your feet, grounding into the earth. And open your palms. Just let them go loose by your sides. Having your spine long and tall. just do a quick inventory, head to toe, just noticing any tension, any spots of resistance or tightness. Just go ahead and bring some light-filled energy into those spots, inviting space. Just noticing your shoulders, the curve of your spine, your hips, your balance, sweeping down over your thighs, your knees, your ankles, into the base of your feet, your toes. And just notice how grounded you feel. Or not. And then from here we'll move into tree pose. So go ahead and begin with one foot firmly planted. If you're on your mat or carpet and you have hardwood, you can come off. Otherwise, just do your best on the surface given you. And go ahead and then begin your tree just with a baby tree with your foot just above your ankle. You can begin with your palms in prayer, or you can have your hands on your hips, and you're welcome to stay here. Otherwise, you can move your tree again. Just focusing your attention soft gaze. And take some nice cooling, spacious breaths. And on the next inhale, go ahead and let that go. You want to shake your legs out. Feel free. And then we'll move to the other side. So give yourself a moment to be grounded. And breathe. And begin again with baby tree. Grounding. And then when you're ready, you can move into extended tree. You can expand your arms, keeping your shoulders plugged into your back. Again, soft, gentle gaze ahead. Long, supple spine. And when you're ready, go ahead and releasing your arms and releasing that leg. And go ahead and shake it out. Once you've done so, go ahead and keep your legs hips distance. We're going to move down into a squat or malasana. So nice and slow. You can come up on your toes if that feels better for your body. Just nice and slowly moving down. If you're creaking and cracking a little, that's natural. And when you come down all the way, ideally your heels will be on the mat. If they're not, you can feel free to grab some cushion, a pillow underneath your feet. Just meeting your body where it is today. So from here, I'm going to take some deep breaths in. This is a really rich, deep hip opener. So just give your body some time to unwind and move into the pose. You can feel free to hold the pose. You can do some gentle rocking. And from here, we're going to do another gentle twist for your back and torso. It's going to take one hand and place it down to further ground you. And then with the other arm, we're going to sweep that up. And you'll feel this twisting, opening in your chest. You can use that arm, anchored arm, to push against your knee, rotating your torso. And coming back to center, regrounding, and then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So gently grounding, unfurling, opening, twists of all varieties are also another really beautiful calming nervous system poses. Easing anxiety, releasing excess energy. And then coming back down into malasana. And from here, just roll easily back onto your sits bones and bring your feet together to kiss. So we'll just do butterfly pose here. So wherever you're comfortable, you can have your feet very, very close to your body. If you're very, very tight, feel free to scoot them out a little bit. And then from here, just give yourself a moment again to feel grounded and very centered. And then with a long, flat spine, you might want to hold onto your big toes. And just let your body gracefully drape over. Again, this is a beautiful yin-inspired pose. If you're very tight, you can feel free to get a pillow and rest a pillow between your feet and your head. If you're more open, you'll be able to go down farther. But a pillow is a wonderful way to offer yourself some support and comfort. So letting your body just slowly unwind in its own time. Just not forcing. Just opening. Just letting yourself fully sink into the pose. becoming aware of any sensations. If you feel any gripping, just directing your breath and your gentle attention into any tight spots, inviting them to release. Just opening. Softening. And when you're ready, very, very gently, beginning with the base of your spine, we're going to roll, using your hands to assist if you need to. Again, one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. And then go ahead and bring your feet in a little closer. If you can move into lotus pose, you're welcome to take lotus. Otherwise, just cross-legged is fine. And we'll go ahead and do some neck rolls from here. So first, just start out nice and gently, going right to left. Check out your range of motion. Many of us can move more freely on one side than the other. Just noticing. And then taking a deep breath in. Just let your shoulders completely relax. And then nice and gently, I'm going to begin on one side. Just letting your head roll to one side. With your opposite hand, you can apply gentle pressure. And for an added stretch, your opposite arm, you can bring that to the mat. This is a beautiful stretch for your neck, and also very soothing and calming to your system. And then gently coming back to center. And go ahead and switch sides. Again, opposite hand. Beautiful. And releasing, coming back to center. We'll just begin gently rolling from one side to the other. Just letting your head go heavy. Make sure you're going slowly enough that you can really listen and observe. And from here, I'm going to take a sip of water if you like. And then go ahead and extend your legs out. So just starting here, again, this can be a really tight area for you runners and cyclists. So if your hamstrings are super tight, feel free to keep your knees a little bit bent at first. You want to be completely grounded equally on your sits bones. And if your knees are a little bent, that's completely fine. And from here, again, we're going to take a forward fold, extending your arms up, plugging them into the base of your shoulder blades. And then again, coming forward. Again, feel free to use a pillow as a prop under your face and your forehead. If you feel any tension in your low back, in your hamstrings, just breathing in and breathing in, bringing gentle attention to any tight areas, inviting them to soften and release. And then when you're complete, similarly, starting with the base of your spine and rolling up one vertebrae at a time. I'm going to bring one leg in against your inner thigh and get centered. And let's do some further opening, calming, twisting. So to begin, go ahead and center your torso right over your extended leg, centering, and we're going to come down, stretching. And this time you should feel an opening throughout your mid to low back, as well as your side body and your QL, as we call it. QL is your quadratus lumborum. It's a thick sheath of muscle that is deeply strengthening and stabilizing to your low back. It's responsible for holding us upright as well as our twisting. So if you're doing a lot of gardening, if you're doing a lot of hauling things, dogs, potting soil, you name it, you'll use your quadratus lumborum a lot. And just breathing into any tight spots, hamstrings. And then rotating back up. And then from the same position, we're going to want to take a twist. So using your opposite arm with the blade of your pinky coming down to the outside of your pinky toe, and using the power of your arm, just rotating your torso, your rib cage. Just breathing into the twist. And on the exhale, letting it unwind. And then we'll take a counter pose. Just go ahead and take the same arm, same side, and rotate up and open. Just a counter pose to any deep twists. Take a moment to move in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then go ahead and switch your legs. We'll move to the other side. And again, begin by grounding and centering always. Feeling stable. And then gently extending. Feel free to keep that knee a little bit bent if that's comfortable for you. And it's very likely you'll notice one side is much tighter than the other side. So if that's true for you, that's completely natural. Just start higher up. Again, you can use your pillow as a prop. And just meeting your body where it is. Not straining or pushing in any way. Just letting your body unwind. And on the next inhale, coming back up. And then again, we'll twist over, taking the blade of that pinky finger, sweeping outside the pinky toe, and rotating open. Using your breath and the power of your arm, helping to rotate that rib cage open. And when you're ready, coming back, moving through center, and just sweeping into a counter pose. And then coming back to center. So from here, we'll move into cross-legged, one leg in front of the other. It doesn't matter which one to begin with. And from here, we're going to move into another forward fold. Forward folds are one of the most absolutely restorative poses you can do. So doing them, if you can do one pose before bed, forward fold is a really beautiful option. So here, go ahead and ground. Again, hands plugged into the shoulder blades. Go ahead and reach forward. So this pose, you'll feel a release all along your spine, up through your neck. But uniquely, you also feel this in your glute. And it's a good pre-pose to pigeon pose or figure four. Both of those are beautiful glute stretches, openers, and this is kind of a baby prequel to those poses. So again, a prop of your choice. You can rest your head on your hands. You can use your pillow. But probably where you'll feel it the most is an extension and expansion in your low back. And an opening across your hip and your glute. This pose is also really wonderful for sciatica. And when you're ready, just coming back up and switching your legs. And we'll just go ahead and repeat on this side. So coming down. Again, you'll probably notice one side is more tight than the other. If this is the case, you can practice some 4-part breathing. Again, just bringing gentle attention. Just not forcing, just inviting the muscles in the hip to open and unwind in their own time. as you're calming and uplifting. One other really powerful, go ahead, come back up to seated. One other really powerful means to calm and uplift is essential oils. And my favorite one is rose to do so. I'm going to move into, you're going to take a seated twist on each side. So go ahead and arrange your legs. Again, if you're super tight on one side, you can feel free to adjust your leg placement. Your foot placement will give you more or less of a twist. So go ahead and take the time to get centered. And then holding your knee gently, raising the opposite arm. Go ahead and rotate around. So of all the essential oils, rose has the highest frequency and the highest vibration. So it's uplifting, it's calming, it's happy. It's love, compassion. And with each breath, you can use your arms to further rotate into the pose. And releasing, unfurling. I'm going to switch sides. So we love to use hydrosols, are one of my favorite ways to. You can also put essential oils into a carrier oil for massage. You can also put them in a diffuser. The hydrosols are wonderful because you can carry them to go and apply them anywhere. So if you're looking for essential oils, you are welcome to contact our team, and we will help you source them. So go ahead again, get grounded, both of your sits bones evenly on the ground, and then twisting open. Again, just listening. Remembering to keep your neck relaxed. Just letting your scalp relax. The space behind your eyes soften and relax. And on the next inhale, just twisting a little more deeply and consciously, with intention, just releasing all tension, stress, any excess energy that's not serving you. Beautiful. And then gently unwinding and releasing. And then we're going to go ahead and move and scoot all the way onto your mat. And then we're going to go nice and slowly, using your abs, come all the way down, until your mat is all the way. Your head is all the way on the mat. Let's go ahead and hold your knees. You want to give yourself some knee circles together. You can also move them separate. into a bridge pose. So go ahead and ground your feet into the earth. Be hips width distance. And then go for your first bridge. Let's go nice and slowly, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. And then taking one hand and the other underneath you, rolling your shoulder blades, kissing them together, just opening your chest, imagining you have a thread from your belly button up through the ceiling. Just breathing in one long line of energy from the base of your tailbone, through your spine, neck, all the way up through the top of your head. And then go ahead and come down. And we're going to come right back up. So just let your sacrum kiss the earth, and then we're going to come right back up into a second bridge. You can feel a stretch through the front of your hips. And coming back down. Beautiful. And go ahead and windshield wiper your legs. Just releasing any tension. And then from here we're going to move into figure 4. So this is the pose. Let's begin with our left leg, creating an upside down 4, and then slowly, gently, feeling a stretch over that left glute. Again, just letting it gently unwind in its own time. We hold a lot of powerful emotional energy in our hips, stored memories, emotion. Just letting those gently release into the earth. And when you feel complete, just releasing that leg. You might want a windshield wiper once more. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take figure 4 on the opposite side. Flexing your right foot, placing it right above your knee, and then clasping your hands right behind your leg. Just breathing in and out. If you're feeling stressed or sad, your diet is also powerfully important. to eat kind of uplifting foods. So some of the best foods that you can eat to keep your energy and your mood uplifted are leafy greens, the whole fam, you know, whatever greens you love, arugula, lettuces, microgreens, sprouts are really, really wonderful foods. Nuts and seeds with omegas in them are also very uplifting. What you want to avoid most are sugars, of course, but dairy, particularly dairy, is really heavy for our systems. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed, anxious, melancholy or sad, just give yourself a week completely dairy free and see if you notice a difference. And when you're ready, go ahead, release. And go ahead and bring those knees into the chest. Do some rocking, just gentle spinal rocking. We have just one more series before Shavasana, and we'll complete with some lying twists. So go ahead and bring your right knee into your right chest, and then slowly rotating over. And then your opposite arm can go over your head. It can go out on the mat. Just wringing out any last bits of tension. Last bits of stress. And when you're ready, moving back to center, extending that right leg, and grasping your left knee, and rotate it over to the right side. Again, opening, extending the opposite arm. Inviting any tight areas to soften. Expanding your chest, expanding your heart. Just observing, calming, and listening. And for our final pose, you can take traditional Shavasana if you like, or if you have a wall, I highly suggest trying, it's called waterfall or feet up the wall. This is a really beautiful pose for both nervous system soothing as well as depression, sadness, kind of heaviness. So it's beautiful to do before you go to bed at night. It's beautiful pose to pair with a contemplative or meditation practice, or anytime you're just feeling super, super frazzled in the course of the day. Just putting your feet over your head has an amazing effect on your whole body. So if you have a wall handy or a chair, go ahead and scoot your bum up so your legs can be resting, and just let your heels rest against the wall. You're not pressing so much, you're just using the wall as a gentle support. If you have a pillow, it can be nice to put a pillow underneath your bum as well as on your belly and pelvis. It's just comforting and further soothing to the nervous system. So go ahead and just let your body completely go heavy. Just letting your spine go heavy, grounding into the earth. Just letting any tension in your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, just let it wash and rinse. Letting the earth's energy pull any stress, tension, energy that's no longer serving you into the earth. Just feeling your sacrum, your spine, your shoulders, the back of your head, your scalp, your crown, your arms and your elbows, the palms of your hands. Just let all of them go heavy, releasing. If you haven't already, you can let your eyes gently flutter closed. Just letting your face soften, your jaw soften, your forehead and your eyes. Just feeling warm honey pouring gently onto your forehead, spreading over your face, your eyes, down your neck, your shoulders. Letting go of everything. And just resting here in Shavasana. slowly you can begin to deepen your breath. Just becoming conscious of your inhale and your exhale. Just letting it be natural. Going to bring your attention to your third eye, the space right behind your eyes, to the picture, a soft violet light. Beginning in that space inside you. And a soft violet light growing and becoming more expansive, spreading out through your entire head, throughout your body, into the space around you. And just resting in that light, in that space of comfort, of calm, of soothing. And then gently feeling your fingers, feeling your toes. If you still have your legs up the wall, you can gently let them slide down off the wall. If you're in Shavasana, you can turn to your favorite side. And just resting, curled on one side for a moment. And then bringing yourself up. And coming back to seated. Welcome. And when you're ready, fluttering your eyes open. Taking a deep breath in and out. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you always. So thank you. I hope you're feeling calm and restored and uplifted to carry with you through the rest of your day or your sleep. And as always, you can join us. We daily have videos at our studio, as well as our new YouTube channel. We'll be adding new content there weekly, so keep an eye on that. You can also visit us online on our Facebook page. All new things, we update you all there. So thank you for being part of our community, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.